If affiliate marketing is such an amazing opportunity, and if it's so easy for a whole lot of people to make money on this, then why do so many people fail? If you are looking to build an affiliate marketing business online, and this is a question that has bothered you ever, then you need to watch this. So stay tuned. Hi, my name is Naresh K, and if this is your first time on any video of mine or you're on my channel, then I'd like to welcome you. I often do keep posting videos with all the tips and tricks and learnings that I've picked up over my years as an affiliate marketer. So if that is something that sounds like you might be interested in, then do click on the like and the subscribe button below so that you can get notified every time I post a new video, right? With that said, let's get back to this question. If affiliate marketing is such a brilliant opportunity, then why do so many people fail? There's a study done that says 90%, the actual numbers are actually closer to more than 95% actually, but 90% of all affiliate marketers fail within the first 4 months. And I should know because I was actually one of them. I think there's hardly anybody who started out and made it the very first time, right? But a lot of people, in fact, almost everybody fails. A few people pick themselves up and then they try again. But then they continue failing. So there is a very high rate of failure in this whole business. And the problem is not with affiliate marketing, because affiliate marketing has kept evolving, but most affiliate marketers have not. And that's the problem. What do I mean by it has kept evolving? Well, there have been 4 distinct stages in affiliate marketing, 4 distinct stages since it first began. And we'll just quickly go through each one of those stages just to give you an idea and to see exactly where the gap is, all right? So the first stage was what I call affiliate marketing level 1, which was the simplest stage. This is where it all began. You, as an affiliate marketer, would send traffic to an offer, and out of all the people you sent, some people would buy, and when they bought, you made a commission, right? And it was plain vanilla, as simple as that, a very linear kind of a model. Which worked very well in the first few days, but it quickly, in fact, a few years down the line, it became not viable for a whole lot of people. And the reason is simple, because in a model like this, there are only 2 variables. There is traffic and then there are sales. And the fact is that as the years went by, if the cost of traffic goes up, which it did, in fact, over the years, it has gone up almost 6 times now since 2005, if you compare the 2005 rates to today, it is at least 6 times the rate that it was. So if the cost of traffic goes up, but the commissions themselves don't go up like that. More importantly, when the conversions themselves come down, then you have a problem. And that's exactly what happened. Conversions did keep coming down because customers became wise. They started getting used to seeing all these different offers, and they realized that there was a lot of mediocrity, and they became much more careful with what they entrusted their money and their faith to. So conversions came down, cost went up, the amount of money you made on each sale really remained pretty much the same or just went up marginally, which basically meant it just became unprofitable. It just became almost impossible to make a profit on this model alone, right? So that was level 1. And this basically meant that you would take one customer and make one transaction. For the next time you wanted to make a sale, you had to catch hold of another customer. And so it was like a hunt and kill. You had to keep hunting new customers every time for the same product, right? The second model was a slightly more evolved model. So you did again send traffic, but this time instead of sending them directly to a sales page, what you would do was you would send them first to something called an opt-in page. And the thinking was that if you're anyway spending so much time and effort actually sourcing those people and making them go somewhere, you might as well at least build a database of these people so that at least you know that there is a database of people who are interested in the matter that you're actually, in the topic that you're actually dealing with or promoting. So that next time you can reach out to them. If you could do that, that would make things a whole lot better. And it actually did. So this was the second model. You send them first to an opt-in page where people would put in their email IDs. As I'm sure you're aware, you must have done this many times yourself, right? So you send them to an opt-in page and from then on to the offer, but whatever details they fed in into the opt-in page would first come on to an autoresponder. It's a place where all the email IDs are stored, which allowed you to write out emails and communicate with these people. So from the autoresponder, you could then send out a whole lot of emails regarding not just this particular offer, but a lot of offers from there on, because now they have become your database, your list, right? And then when you made a sale, you made a commission. So this was the second level. And the way this worked was that it was still the same one customer, but now that same one customer, you could approach that person over and over again with many different products or many different offers. And so there was a definite improvement over the first stage. But over years, this too became unviable and stopped working really, because this became the norm firstly, right? So everybody had an opt-in page. Now that means that an average person would put in an email in at least 20 different places or 25 different places. They'd get onto 25 different lists, and suddenly everybody started getting bombarded with various emails, and all of them were just pitching. They were not really, most of them were not really adding value. They were not really helping the person along in their journey. They were just pitching one product after the other, saying, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And over a period of time, you get bored. I mean, you get tired of the whole thing. Most people even stopped opening mails or even clicking on them. So open rates came down, click rates came down, and before you knew it, a lot of people actually even unsubscribed. So overall, this became unviable as well. The third model was what I call affiliate marketing level 3, which was again a step up from this, where again you would send traffic and you would first send it to an opt-in page, but then instead of sending them directly onto one product and finishing the transaction there, you built what is called a sales funnel. Okay, a sales funnel. I mean, first you would send them to a bridge page to kind of warm them up a little, and then you would send them to a sales funnel. A sales funnel was a series of offers made along in the same transaction by first offering them something called a tripwire, which was something that was of such ridiculously low price, but of such a lot of value for that price, that it became almost stupid to not buy it. So most people would actually, the tendency to buy it was very high because there was no resistance. The perceived value was high, and the price itself was very low. So you would buy that. But once you've got into the buying mode, right, as a customer, then you are in a buying mode. And that's what this approach leverages. Once you're in a buying mode, that's the time to actually pitch you with slightly more or higher level offerings, which are really, valuable, which will help you in getting the result that you actually desire when you bought that first product. But that's presented to you after you've made an initial purchase. As I said, that puts you in a buying mode. And then you have something called an upsell, which is a higher value product. If you don't want that upsell, and if you're not interested in it, then you present it with something called a downsell, which is a slightly scaled down version of the upsell, right? And if you say no to that again, then you get to take into another upsell and its corresponding downsell, and so on and so forth, until that person has passed through an entire funnel before that particular transaction is complete. And what this does is that every time a person has opened their wallet, it increases the average order value, called the AOV. This is the principle that made McDonald's so successful, right? You must have heard, if you ever walked into a McDonald's, would you like some fries with that? Or would you like a Coke with that? Or would you like to buy this combo package? That's exactly what they're doing. You've bought the burger. That's not where they make the money. They make the bulk of the money on the fries and the Coke or the, whatever soft drink that they provide. But that's the exact principle on what they increase the average order value, right? And this was affiliate marketing 3. And again, once you've completed the transaction, you're brought back to the autoresponder, and then you're sent back to either this funnel or other funnels later on. But it's the same process all over again, right? This again worked pretty well for a good part of time. In fact, a lot of people still do this today, and they put people through funnels. But the top 1%, the guys who are truly cracking it, crushing it, right? They play the game a little differently from this as well. They do send you, as we showed you earlier, to an opt-in page with the bridge page and the entire funnel and all that. But once the transaction is complete, instead of sending you back to the autoresponder and then pitching you other funnels later on, they first send you to something called a members area. A members area, because the initial tripwire or one of the upsells along that will actually, in fact, the initial tripwire itself, in most cases, is actually some sort of a training, right? That allows you to bring people into a members area where the training is being delivered through various lessons. Now, in that, when they're delivering those lessons, And when they're giving you the training is where they will actually start pitching you other product and services that you will need as a means of getting the results that you were looking for when you first signed up to this particular course, right? You will naturally need them. It's not just, selling you stuff that you don't need. You will need them. But the big difference here is that when you are in the training area, in the members area, there is a subtle shift in your mindset, because now you're not a customer or a prospect. You're learning from somebody, right? And when you're learning from somebody, you are in a student mode. You're in a learning mode. And in that mode, when somebody presents something to you, there's a subtle psychological shift in your mindset, which is very important. In that mindset, you are far more likely to receive and act upon the suggestions given to you, which is why the ecosystem, the educational ecosystem as it's called, is an amazing way to deliver that. And through that, not only is it just that you go through the training, but as you go through the training, there are various other, you're now in that person's world. And in that world, there are a lot of other products, there are a lot of other services that are being offered to you, for each one called like multiple streams of income, right? These multiple streams of income are recurring commission products. And there are other standalone products that you may be offered or, that may be offered to you. Either way, once you are in their world, it gives them the opportunity to keep presenting to you stuff that you will need and actually find value out of, so that there is a mutual exchange of value between the two of you. This is the model that Apple actually worked brilliantly on. If you're in the Apple world, everything Apple related is the only thing that makes sense to you, right? This is what Apple actually capitalized on. This is how the top 1% of affiliate marketers work. Now, this is easy for the top 1% of people, but as a beginner, how does it work for you is the question that I'm sure is on your mind, yeah? And it's a very valid question, because as a beginner, there are going to be 3 key challenges if you want to make this model work. First of all, as a beginner, you may not have the authority or the expertise to, deliver, to actually construct a training, to deliver the training and all of that, right? And there's no reason why people should actually listen to you if you're just starting out on your journey, right? Second part is you may not have the wherewithal or the expertise or the experience to set up this massive ecosystem and the funnels and the meals, and there's so many moving parts in that particular system. You may not have the expertise or the system to set it up. Thirdly, there are a lot of people who say, look, you don't have to bother with all that. You just send the traffic, I'll give you my system and you can use it. And a lot of people do that as well. The problem with that is that such people only give you, first of all, commissions on the front end on the tripwire, and then all the rest of the meat, which is actually made in the background, the meat and potatoes of the business, becomes theirs. They don't really share that with you, number one. More importantly, when you do that, you still get commission only on the front end. You have not built up your business, and you're actually back to affiliate model level 1, because that's pretty much what you're doing. You're sending traffic. If you make a sale, you make a commission, and then you're sending some more traffic, and so on and so forth. You are not gaining anything out of the rest of it that has been built up in a lot of these people who tell you, hey, I've got a funnel, send it to me. Okay. So in a nutshell, what you need is you need to be able to leverage other people's authority or expertise. You need to have access to setups and systems that will actually work for you. And you need you need support so that you are able to build up your own business and not just get commissions, not transaction based, but actually building a real solid business. This is what you really need. And in all the years that I've spent as an affiliate marketer, there are just 1 or 2 people who actually do this on an amazing scale, who offer all of this to you and help you make not only commissions and money in the short run, but truly build a lasting business in the long run. And this is what I want to share with you.